What if I told you one of the most controversial actresses in Hollywood just landed a new film? After tanking a $100 million Disney remake and becoming one of the internet's most roasted celebrities. That's right, Rachel Zegler, the same actress who practically set her own career on fire with one press tour, is somehow back with a brand new lead role.
Weird.
And this time, she's starring alongside an Oscar winner in a movie that no one saw coming. The film is called She Gets It From Me. It's a small indie project, sure, but don't let that fool you. This isn't just a quiet comeback. It's a calculated, high-stakes bet by a studio that's either incredibly bold or incredibly blind. But here's the real question. How does someone go from public backlash, box office failure, and viral humiliation to another starring role? Is this redemption, desperation, or just another chapter in Hollywood's favorite game, failing upward? Let's break down how Rachel Zegler ended up right back in the spotlight, and why it's leaving so many people scratching their heads. When Disney tapped Rachel Zegler to lead its live-action remake of Snow White, it was supposed to be her crowning moment, a career-defining role that would cement her status as Hollywood royalty. Instead, it turned into a slow-motion train wreck. The backlash started early, and it started loud. Zegler criticized the original Snow White as outdated, dismissing the love story, the prince, and even the idea of romance itself. She framed her version of the film as one of empowerment, not fairy tales.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
But rather than sounding thoughtful or forward-thinking, she came across as smug, even contemptuous, as if loving the original meant you were somehow beneath her. Fans of the classic didn't appreciate being lectured, and casual audiences felt talked down to. The film's reception? Brutal. Snow White bombed at the box office despite massive promotional efforts, and Ziegler's public comments became Exhibit A in what went wrong. It wasn't just a movie that failed, it was a brand misfire of historic proportions, one that landed squarely on her shoulders. And while production delays and script problems played a role, Ziegler's tone became the loudest part of the disaster. But the worst was still to come. If Snow White was the flameout, Zegler's social media was the accelerant. Instead of damage control, she doubled down, launching political grenades and alienating potential fans with off-script arrogance. Her most infamous moment? Telling Trump supporters they would never know peace. Whether it was a joke, a jab, or a moment of venting, it backfired spectacularly. Instantly, the backlash turned bipartisan. She wasn't just polarizing, she was radioactive. And once the memes started, they didn't stop. TikTok edits, YouTube takedowns, and endless comment threads all painted the same picture. An actress who seemed more interested in fighting her audience than entertaining them. She became, almost overnight, one of the most disliked rising stars in the industry. And it wasn't just public sentiment. Behind the scenes, the whispers started. Would studios want to work with someone who couldn't stay out of her own way? Was the risk worth the reward? Many assumed the answer was no. And then, out of nowhere, came She Gets It From Me. Ziegler's latest role isn't another flashy franchise or big-budget swing. It's a quiet indie film. A character-driven dramedy about a daughter and her ex-punk rocker mom, played by Marisa Tomei. It's intimate, low budget, and most importantly, low pressure. For Zegler, this is a strategic pivot. A move away from princess gowns and blockbuster expectations towards something smaller. Something that might actually let her prove she can act, not just trend. Indie films have long been the safe haven for fallen stars. They're affordable, creatively rich, and free from the microscope of corporate studios. If Zegler performs well here, it could be her clean slate. And with Tomei in the mix, a respected actress with genuine audience goodwill, the film has built-in credibility. It gives Zegler a shield and a second shot. But this isn't just about the movie. This is about whether audiences are ready to watch her without rolling their eyes. Because this time, the safety net has a hole. Enter Embankment Films, the studio behind this unexpected casting choice. They're not Disney, not Netflix, not even a 24, but they operate globally and they're not afraid of risk. And betting on Zegler? That's a risk with teeth. Why take it? Simple. Because she's cheap and she's still clickable. In a post-Snow White world, Ziegler's asking price likely plummeted. For Embankment, that's a steal. They get a recognizable name, a trending figure, and possibly a redemption arc. all for the price of an unknown actor's first gig. And if the film lands, they become the studio that saved her. That story sells. But it's not just business. This is indie cinema's sweet spot. Character work, narrative depth, and damaged stars trying to rebuild their reputations. Embankment doesn't need a box office hit. They need buzz, acclaim, and just enough goodwill to break even. Still, the gamble only works if Zegler behaves. And that's far from guaranteed. So why does Zegler keep getting chances? Why are studios still casting someone audiences seem tired of? Because in Hollywood, marketability isn't what you think it is. It's not about talent. It's not even about likability. It's about name recognition, controversy, clicks, and Zegler, for better or worse, checks every box. She trends. She triggers reactions. She generates conversation. And in a content economy, that's sometimes more valuable than a clean resume. It's the same reason you see familiar names over and over again. Even when their last projects bombed, once a studio has sunk money into promoting you, they don't want to walk away. They'd rather try to fix the brand than start from scratch. But that logic is starting to crack. Audiences are louder now, smarter, less forgiving. And attention doesn't always mean admiration. So yes, Zegler's getting another chance. But it might be her last one that comes without strings attached. And if this flops, there may not be another safety net. Not from Disney, not from indie darlings, not from anyone. Hollywood loves a comeback. But comebacks take work. And so far, Zegler's efforts haven't shown much change. Her off-Broadway stint fizzled. Her interviews remained awkward. Her social media presence still carries the same edge that got her in trouble in the first place. So, why is this film different? Because it strips away the noise. No fairy tale expectations, no press tour pressure, just performance. With Tomei anchoring the cast and the spotlight dialed down, Zegler has a chance to prove she's more than a trending topic. But to do that, she'll need to step back. Not up. She'll need to stop preaching, stop provoking, and start performing. The big question isn't, can she act? It's, can she grow? Because if this is just another performance built on attitude, audiences will tune out. Again. But if she lets the work speak, that could change everything. Zegler's journey isn't just her own. It's a symptom of a deeper problem in Hollywood. For decades, the industry has confused buzz with value. It's propped up personalities who know how to trend, even if they can't connect. It's overlooked quiet talent in favor of loud headlines. And it's built careers on assumptions, not outcomes. Meanwhile, millions of aspiring actors grind away in obscurity, waiting for a break they'll never get. Watching others fail upward in plain sight. Zegler isn't the first. She won't be the last. But her story stings because it's so obvious, so public, so frustratingly familiar. The rules are supposed to be simple. Show up, work hard, deliver results. But in modern Hollywood, sometimes the loudest voice gets the next gig, even if nobody's listening anymore. So here we are. A new film, a smaller stage, a rare chance to start over. Zegler has the opportunity to rebuild, but she also has the reputation of someone who doesn't know when to stop talking. Will she use this moment to reset, reflect, and rise? Or will she gets it from me become yet another line on a resume filled with squandered chances? The cameras are rolling, the critics are watching, and the internet never forgets. Because in this town, comebacks are possible, but only if you've actually learned the lesson. So what do you think? Is this Rachel Zegler's redemption story? Or just another example of Hollywood ignoring its own audience? Drop your take in the comments below.